I don't know how Chiney Ogwumike broke off a couple of minutes to be able to speak with us after all of the work that she's been doing, crushing the women's coverage. Chiney, thank you so much for beaming into NBA Today, and we love your shirt. Oh, there she is.
Oh, thank you, sis. Do you like my glasses?
Yes,
I caught a little bit of the eclipse.
Yeah, we did too out here in Los Angeles, although it wasn't a total eclipse. But Chiney, this is Dawn Staley's third national title. See, there we go. Cardosa, right, is headed to the WNBA top 5, right, in ESPN's mock draft. And South Carolina opened up already as favorites to win it again in 2025 on ESPN Bet. So, Chiney, has Dawn Staley built the next real women's hoops dynasty here?
Dawn Staley absolutely has built a dynasty, and what she has done is so impressive. If we're going to talk about specifically this team, they returned no starters, and they went, by the way, to the WNBA, so she really develops pros. And then also, they got better. They got transfers. Their only weakness last season was perimeter shooting. They just casually brought in the best perimeter shooter, best three-point percentage shooter, and that woman right there, Tahina Pow. But even bigger picture, Dawn Staley is one of one. A lot of people have been introduced to the game of women's college basketball over the last 2 years based off of the heroics of people like Dawn and Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But the truth of the matter is her resume is unblemished. Look at this right here. She has won 3 national titles as a head coach. But let's talk about her as a player. 3 Olympic gold medalist. She actually is a 6-time WNBA All-Star and a 2-time National Player of the Year. Put respect and give her flowers.
And not to mention, she's the first black woman when you look at the list of undefeated national champions as well, Ramona.
You know, when I think about all the great women's basketball teams of the past, like there's some great UConn teams that were perfect. There's a Tennessee team in 97, 98. But I think this has got to be up there because, as Chiney is saying, they didn't return anyone from that team. Like, this was the revenge tour, but it's not exactly everyone who was out there last year getting revenge. I mean, it was, and I think that was so impressive watching this game. Like, they were just too big, too much. They just came in waves. I mean, 51-29, they win the rebounding battle, 48 points in the paint. I mean, they just kept coming at them, and they wore Iowa down. And I think what's amazing to me about watching Dawn and how she's built this program is just how much she attracts players. Like, people want to play for her. Right. Like, people are coming in the transfer portal wanting to play for her. I don't know if we got another UConn, Tennessee thing going. I don't know if it's USC maybe out here on the West Coast with Juju Watkins going to be here for a while. But the fact that we have this much parity and a program that can do it year in and year out with, I mean, like Aaliyah Boston is in the WNBA. She was #1 pick. Right. She was, and how do you go back to back after losing somebody of that caliber?
And even taking a step back, right, for a second and looking at what Chiney's shirt says, which is so true. This really felt like a moment in time for women's basketball, and so many incredible athletes. Look, Chiney mentioned.
I'm gonna paint a picture. Right. I was at a kid's birthday party. It was a 5-year-old kid's birthday party, and I have the ESPN app on my phone. Right. And I pulled it out because I had to watch the game, and people were coming around and be like, "Hey, what's the score?" Right. Exactly. Like, people are coming over to me to, like, look at the game on my phone.
And so many women have contributed. So many incredible athletes have contributed in order to get to this point where Caitlin Clark really could take that torch and run with it. And I just thought that Dawn Staley really summed it up perfectly with Caitlin's impact with our Holly Rowe.
I want to personally thank Caitlin Clark for lifting up our sport. She carried a heavy load for our sport, and it just is not going to stop here on the collegiate tour. But when she is the #1 pick in the WNBA draft, she's gonna lift that league up as well. So Caitlin Clark, if you're out there, you are one of the GOATs of our games, and we appreciate you.
Anytime somebody like Coach Staley is able to recognize you and what you did for the game is pretty special. And obviously she's somebody I, respect so much. I respect what she's done for South Carolina. I respect what she did as a player for our game. And, anytime you can get the praises of her is pretty special. So that means a lot.
So LeBron James, he weighed in during the title game. He posted this: "If you don't rock with Caitlin Clark's game, you are just a flat-out hater. So stay far away from them people, please." And Clark's college resume, it really is untouchable. And there's always, right, a transition when you talk about taking the next step to the pros. It's a conversation that you would have with any prospect. And another 2-time Player of the Year, Diana Taurasi, has some experience about what Clark is in store for at the next level.
Reality is coming. you know, there's levels to this thing. And that's just life. We all went through it. And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you know, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
So I don't even think Diana meant that, Chiney, as shade, but you know better than I do. You know this firsthand. You were a #1 pick. You know all of the pressures that come with that and that transition. What are your expectations for Clark at the next level?
Look, I think she's going to show up and show out as she always has done. I think that was DT just being DT. Right. She hazes everybody. Yes. And this is one thing. In the WNBA, all rookies can get it. Vets just love to see a rookie and say, I'm going to really come at you. But Caitlin has the game to back it up. I expect her to thrive at the next level. She's not only a great shooter, she's a great facilitator. So she has options with her game. And I'm just excited for her to bring that viewership and that mentality, that competitive fire, those fans to the next level as well.
I don't even care if it was shade. In fact, I hope it was shade, because that's fun. Like, sometimes we're afraid of having negative talk, right? Or afraid of having some controversy. No, this is the real world, right? Where vets like Diana Taurasi haze rookies. Like, that's what Kobe used to do to every rookie who came in the league. Right. Okay, to anybody.
You heard the story that Kelsey Plum told over the weekend, where Diana Taurasi was talking nice to her, and then boom. So this
welcome
is just
to
part
the league. Of it. And I'm telling you, I think she's gonna, like, there's a lot of people who are kind of hazing her, and it'll be fun to watch that transition.
I am excited to see the transition.